The last video I did on Miranda's channel was about long COVID and ME research update. Now, I didn't know the results of research, the studies that I've been on before. So I did a hunt around because they don't tell you what's going on. So we found, go back to the ME Research UK, which is the same website. If we go down here, it's about Professor Julian Newton. So the technical summary of this was a POTS thing. And when I went to see Professor Newton, it was from the GP. And I wasn't told what it was about. I was just told, why don't you go and see Professor Julian Newton? Well, she's an expert. Why don't you go and speak to her? So that's what I did. I didn't know it was anything to do with POTS. So here we have since many ME, this is the results of all this. Since many ME CF patients have problems with standing and suffer symptoms such as dizziness, altered vision, nausea and fatigue, it has been suggested that some may also have POTS. We measured the change in heart rate on standing in 59 patients with ME CFS and found that 27% of them had POTS compared with just 9% of healthy controls. And it goes on to say about when people stand up, the heart rates go up and all this type of thing. Well, you've got to realise that when I went, it was one morning, and we're talking like 8 o'clock, and to get through Newcastle from where I live, it is an absolute nightmare, like major cities are. And I had my dad driving, and my dad is useless in city centres. He cannot drive in them at all. And going into Newcastle, all the roads change every time you go, I think. And so you're already stressed. I'm stressed about my dad driving, and I'm stressed about, can we find the place okay? Could, because it was in Newcastle General, which most of that had been closed down. So you've got all this going on in your head. And when you see the results of this, and as I said, this is from, I think, it could be 2010, something like that. I don't really know. But 2008, it's got the December, got it, 2008. Yeah. So when you actually go there, you're under a lot of stress. You know, you're not normal and everything, and when I was tested, I didn't have POTS, but I had a high blood pressure, and I don't get spikes on blood pressure, but generally speaking, I don't have high blood pressure, and I thought, well, that is that a real reading, or it's white coat syndrome and things like that? And she says, get your blood pressure checked and that, and I did the next week, and it was back to normal. And I take my blood pressure quite often. So I think when you see all this type of thing, yes, there probably is a higher rate, 27% compared to 9% of health controls in POTS. There will be a higher rate of ME patients suffering from POTS, but it's probably not, even if you get it treated successfully, it's not going to take your ME away. And I think obviously any 1% marginal gains is fine. And another study which came about from that is, I don't know if you can see it there because everything's upside down. Again, Newcastle, deep. So it's the deep study, and what this was is I get this temporal mandibular thing. So it's from here and right the way along here, and my jaw absolutely pains. There's nothing like it. It's even worse than toothache when you have a bad attack, and it really is. It's absolutely the worst pain. Anyway, from the deep study, which I think it was 2 years, and I still to this day do not know what the results of these things are. So when you have studies now, and even though I believe in them, we don't really know what it is, I had to look for Julia Newton on this, because I've never been told. They haven't written to us, they haven't done anything. But I still, as I say, I still believe in them, and I'm actually on a new one from the GP, and it's actually going to be done by a professor at Darlington. I don't think I have to go, so that's fine, because Darlington from here is it's near North Yorkshire, and so it's a good half an hour away from where we are. And anyway, apart from all that, my goals for this year, if everything goes well and if I can stay as well as possible, is basically to look after myself. And I think this is very important. I've been trying to look after my dad and things like that for a year and a half. You know, I've been putting off, I need some work on my teeth, I need my eyes done, which I have gotten. I've gone and get them done. So that's one job out the way. I need to get the specs next week. I've got to go to the doctors as well for something, and there's all these things. And I think for me and Miranda, we've got to put each other first. Fun projects I'm going to get back into painting. So if I stay okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish off some. I've done hundreds and hundreds of paintings over the years. But that's what I'm going to do. I feel like I've left it a long time. I haven't done much since about 5 years ago. So that's my fun projects that I'm going to try and do. And what's your goals for 2025? So again, thanks for watching.